Overjoyed, Stevie Wonder. And this is another one of those tunes that I really wanted to talk about, but I didn't feel I could come anywhere near the original recording, trying to copy it sort of arrangement-wise and do it any kind of justice. And one of the primary reasons for that is one of the main elements of the song is Stevie Wonder's vocal performance, which is, to me, one of the greatest things in music. It's just, in a career full of great vocal performances, he outdid himself on this one. And you know, when you have something like that, it's really hard to pay tribute to it instrumentally. If I just sat at the piano and played the melody in a performance section, yeah, you can make out the song, but it's not gonna be anywhere near that version of it. I only play a couple other instruments, the guitar and the bass, and I didn't feel like I was gonna do any justice playing the melody on those either. So I started to try to figure out a way to approach the song, because I didn't want to just come on and talk about the song. I always like to present the music first so you guys can hear the tune. I'm sure most of the tunes I've done you're familiar with already anyway, but if you haven't, well, now you get to hear it, right? And so I started to think, all right, what's going on in the groove of the original, right? And, you know, it's an interesting sort of thing he's got going on, you know, the percussion and the kind of thing, right? I said, what is that essentially? And I was like, well, it's kind of like it's a slow samba, yeah? And if you speed the song up, well, then it really does sound like a true samba. And that kind of thing. So I said, okay, if I do that, if I take the song and speed it up and then play the melody on a nylon string acoustic guitar, I won't have to let the melody notes sustain out like it is on the original, because it's a faster tempo. So I said, well, let me try doing that. And that's how I recorded it. And no, it doesn't sound anything like the original. I mean, I am playing the same melody notes and the same chord changes, but arrangement-wise, it's completely different. But it was really the only way I could find to try to do the song some kind of justice. Anyway, let's get into it, and let's talk about some of the things that are so good besides just the vocal performance. You know, this whole tune is constructed in a way that it uses a couple of like common jazz turnarounds as its primary harmonic bass. I've never heard Stevie Wonder play jazz, but I'll bet you he can play the hell out of jazz, because all his songs use so many jazz elements, and this is certainly one of them. The intro starts like this with a D flat 6 chord. D flat, F, B flat, okay? The B flat stays constant on the top. The D flat and F move down a half step to C and E. It's a C7 chord. B flat stays, and the C and the E move down a half step to B and D sharp. So now you have a B major 7 chord. So you have this. Move back up. C7. I love that lick in the piano. He plays that on the original. It's like a whole part of a whole tone scale. E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. That's a cool sound. And that would be on the C7 chord. And playing whole tone on a dominant 7th chord is a jazz thing. So then the second time around, it went from the B flat major 7 to just a B flat. half step again. And that B flat, I mean, that could have just been the end of the harmony right there, and now we're in the key of B flat. But the B flat functions now as a 5 chord, and we're going to the song's true key, which is E flat. All right. Now, in terms of chord voicings, there's a lot of things you could do with this song, but I want to show you just like the root movement first for the first like 4 measures. So it's an E flat, C minor, an F minor, and a B flat. And what that is a 1, 6, 2, 5. Again, in jazz, there's a famous song called I Got Rhythm, written by George Gershwin. Well, the chord progression of that song has been used for countless other jazz tunes, and people call those tunes rhythm changes. The funny thing about that is the rhythm of the song doesn't change. It's short for I got rhythm chord changes. Rhythm changes. Okay. That song is usually played in the key of B flat, but you could play it in any key. And here we have that turnaround of 1, 6, 2, 5 in the key of E flat. Okay. When you do that, you can always add 7th notes to any chord. So you could have E flat major 7, C minor 7, F minor 7, B flat 7, right? Those are what we call diatonic 7th chords. They're all the notes that are in the E flat major scale. But there's other ways to do this too. You could play, instead of E flat major 7, you could play E flat 6, you know. C minor, you could play like a C minor 9. You know, F minor, you could play like a F minor 11. B flat, you could play something like an A flat chord with a B flat in the bass. And those are all just variations that, you know, jazz musicians use all the time, and just on the fly. I mean, it's not ever really sort of worked out beforehand. It's just what you get. So, anyway, the harmony of Overjoyed here, right? So in the original, it does sound like on the E flat, he's sort of really just playing the triad, but the melody, he's starting it on the major 7, and it's such a prominent note. He's got this going on. You see? So yes, the E flat is the root of the harmony, but you see, so he's taken that 3-note grouping of the root, the major 7, and the 5th of E flat, and he's used that as a sort of like, you know, cell of notes that he's dancing around, kind of thing, as the harmony's changing. Now, after that happens, right, what I just played, something very unique happens here. The way he does it is super slick. So the chords, you know, he's still E flat, C minor, but this time, instead of going to F minor, he goes to F major. All right. And not only does he go to F major, but he's got the 3rd of F, which is A, in the bass. So check out how that sounds then. So that's a real surprise for the ear. And not only does he do that, but then he follows the same voicing of F over A up a whole step, G over B. So you're getting this pull. Your ear is being pulled up. And the reason why is then that G acts as a 5 chord going to C. So we've just modulated keys down a minor third, which is, again, a common jazz kind of thing to do. So we had E flat, C minor, F minor, B flat, right? E flat, C minor, F major over A, G major over B. So now we're on a C chord, but the C chord sounds like a C add 9 or a C major 9. And the reason why I say that is because, again, in the vocal melody, he's hitting a D note. That's the 9th of C, right? He likes that D note in the song. So now we're getting this chord progression. C, G over B. You're thinking it's going to follow that thing where then you go to the relative minor, whatever. Nope, don't do that. It gives us a surprise. So he went down, C major, G over B, back up, C minor this time. Still on that D note, so like C minor 9, right? There's an F major chord. And then B flat 7, A flat over B, whatever, B flat. But you see how that worked. So C, G over B, C minor becomes a 2, F is a 5, B flat is a 5. And then we're back to E flat major again. And that thing of turning it into C minor, F, and then B flat, yet again, is a jazz kind of thing, right? But not in the context of what preceded it. I mean, this chord progression of that's super unique, you know. So just the way that he's taking elements of jazz. This tune is not a jazz tune, but you know, I've heard jazz musicians play it a lot of times, in fact, because it lends itself to that kind of thing. The harmony is so rich, and it's also open for interpretation, like I was saying about adding seventh notes to it and so on, and all kinds of upper extensions, 9s, 11s, and all that kind of thing. All right, so we've gone through that chord progression. That's what I call the A section. It's essentially the verse. That A section repeats again. And so we've wound up on a B flat, right? Here's the next part. This is what I call the B section. It's sort of like a chorus, I guess. And what he does is, instead of going back to E flat again, he'll go to the 4 chord of E flat, which is A flat. But I don't think of it like that. I think of it as like he was on B flat and then just decided to go down a whole step to A flat, right? Major 7, whatever. And then it does this thing where it goes A flat, E flat over G. And now he goes to the F minor 7, B flat 7. So far we've got part of a diatonic chord progression. A flat, E flat over G, F minor 7, 2, 5. You'd think we'd go to E flat then. We don't. We go up a minor third from B flat to D flat 6 to C7. That's borrowing that idea from the very intro of the song. Genius. Okay, so we've got that. Now you think at C7 it's a 5 chord, we're going to go to F. No, we don't do that either. Again, more surprise. So what we do is we go down a whole step like we did before, from B flat to A flat. We're going from C to B flat. So now it's kind of like we've modulated to the key of B flat major. And then we do this kind of thing. B flat, F over A, and then F minor over A flat. You see that little chromatic movement in the bass. And then F minor 7, B flat 7, that's a 2-5, and then you think, okay, we're done, going to E flat. No. Again, more surprise. We go from the F minor 7 to B flat 7, and now we go back to the intro. And so on. That was the B section, followed by a repeat of the intro, which I like to think of it as the interlude. And then we have another A section where we do that whole chord progression in E flat again, right? Okay. Once we've done that, we're going to go back to the B section. So far we've had intro, A, B, intro, A, B. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the second B section that we're doing, remember we had modulated to B flat major. B flat, F over A, F minor over A flat, F minor 7, B flat 7. Hold on, we're going up a whole step. We've got C in the bass, we've got a B flat chord in the right hand. That's what you call a C11 chord. It's a slash chord. It's B flat over C. And then you just move it to it would be a C7 then. And you think we're going to go to F. Nope, we don't do that again. So we never do that. We're always kind of like going somewhere that your ear's not expecting. I love that about this song. So here we go, C11, C7, we go to B flat, F over A, now G minor 7, C7, to 2-5, up a minor third to E flat, down a half step to D. Now you think we're going to go here to G. No, again, we don't do that. We went G minor 7, C7, up a minor third, E flat, D, and now C. All right, and then G over B, G minor over B flat. It's that same chord move that we had done before, a whole step lower. So he really liked that progression. It's great. C, G over B, G minor over B flat, and then G minor 7, C7, and then finally we reach a 2-5 that lands on its 1. We're not done yet. F major, up a half step to F sharp major, not done yet. Down a whole step from F sharp to E major, then a B flat 7, and then finally landing where we began at the tonic chord of E flat major. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's breakdown, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this to come. Thanks for watching.